welcome, and thank you for coming to Durango Diaries. Sponsored by Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad Brew Train tonight, and we thank them for making this possible. A quick rundown on tonight. We're going to give each of these guys 10 minutes to talk about craft brewing. They all come from unique perspectives on that. Lon Wilkinson is a member of Animus Alers, a local homebrewers club. He began home brewing about 3 years ago and has made about 25 beers, including 2 that have won Iron Brew competitions in Grand Junction. He moved to Durango 4 or 5 months ago, joined Animus Alers, and hopes to increase membership and interest in the club. When he's not home brewing, he's selling insurance, right?
So I'm here representing the Animus Alers, which is a local homebrew club. And we're really trying to create more awareness that the group exists, and membership, and showing up to the meetings we meet. There's probably what I think maybe 30 to 40 members, and we're trying to get more activity. And we meet the third Wednesday of every month. Right now we're doing it at SCA upstairs, and it's just a great opportunity because it's a bunch of people that come together that make good beer in their garage or their basement, and we bring one in and we share beers and send them around and get feedback from people. And it's interesting because is anyone a home brewer in here? Okay, great. 3 years ago, my lovely bride Danielle, which is right back here, hello. I was always talking about brewing beer, and so she bought me a starter kit. And we were in Grand Junction at the time, and so we had a local brew store, supply store. And so I started going down there and buying kits. And it's called, the way most people get started into home brewing is extract brewing, which is pretty simple. You buy a box, it's got everything in it. And you need just maybe a 5-gallon brew pot. You just follow the instructions. And everything, you know, if everything's clean and you do follow the instructions, everything goes right. It's very simple. It takes about a month before you're drinking your own beer. But it's not as creative as actually doing the next step, which is called all grain brewing, home brewing. We've taken it to the next step now to do all grain brewing. But this is really all you need to do. There's not a lot that you have to have. We have a grinder right here that grinds our malts. That's the first thing that we do. After the malts are ground, it's usually about 11 pounds, 12 pounds, in that range. Everything goes into this cooler, which is called a mash tun. And it has this copper Home Depot homemade cut slits in with a hacksaw. And that fits right inside here. And then we soak the grains for usually an hour. And during that process, it extracts the natural sugars from the malts. From there, we open up this valve and we start sparging into our brew kettle, which I got at, oh man, I think I got that at Bed Bath & Beyond for $30 or something like that. We fill this up with hot water. We open this up, and this isn't to scale. It's all a gravity system, but we just start pulling that liquid out. It's called wort. And we rinse it with water from here. It goes back into the brew kettle, boil for an hour. Put awesome hops in it, maybe local hops, if I can get some. Yeah, and after that boil, it goes into the fermenting pail, and the fermenting pail sits in there for, well, once it goes in the fermenting pail, we pitch our yeast, and then it actually becomes beer, and we leave it for a week in here, and then after another week, we throw it into a secondary fermenter. The last one that we did, we threw in some, it was a wheat beer, and we threw in some lemon peel that we soaked in vodka for 2 days prior to, just to rehydrate it, of course. So it's going to be a lemon wheat. And then the process from here, so this past Christmas, my bride, she's always thinking about me and my brewing, and she bought me a keg. So now we don't bottle anymore, now we keg. So we have a kegerator in our kitchen, which I thought this is really a cool idea, but sometimes, you're thinking, and you're walking by and you think, well, I'll just have a half one. You can just pour yourself one. But it's a very great hobby. We love it. My 24-year-old son, Alex, is right back there. He's my new brew buddy. We get together once a month and make a beer. My dad's back here. He drove all the way from Minnesota just for this presentation. He just rolled into town, and we made a double IPA a year ago that came out great. And it's just really a cool hobby because you can do it with friends, you can do it with family. This whole process takes about 5 hours. So we call it brew day, and it's the main focus of the day. Unfortunately, we do not have a local brew store here where you can buy equipment. Supplies, and so you can get things online. And the closest one we have to us right now is in Farmington, to buy your grains and to buy your hops and to buy your yeasts and such. So anyway, the reason I wanted to talk today is to let you guys know that Animus Ailers is alive and well. We get together once a month. Love to have some more members. I learned everything I know about brewing from being in the Hook Cliff Homebrew Club in Grand Junction from my friends there. And it's become a really great hobby, and it's inexpensive. This stuff, as you can see from that, that's for extract brewing, $130, and then you have to buy some supplies. But I've been doing the math on what it costs, and with all the supplies, we just do little 5-gallon deals like this, or 5-gallon batches like this, and we can get 48 12-ounce beers out of there. It costs about $35 for the ingredients, so it's about $5 a six-pack. But then, if you were to add in the labor costs for everything, it's probably about $20 a six-pack. But it's a labor of love, and so I'm going to be around afterwards, so if you guys want to come up and ask me questions about what all this stuff is and how it works, I'd be happy to spend some time with you. So, thank you.